Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's the Carolina Skyhawks home opener against their rivals, the Charleston Predators from South Carolina, here on this Atlantic Coast battle. Alongside Charles Doherty, Andy Hamilton, Nelson Lozano on stats. I'm Cameron Irvine. Welcome to Raleigh. And good afternoon to you. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, Charles.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday, and we're in store for a great SFL matchup today. These two teams have met 3 times before. Carolina has edged out the series 2-1. Both of these teams have come off some really hard losses last week. Charleston's coming off a blow-off loss to Vancouver. Carolina coming off a 3-3rd overtime nail-biter loss against New Orleans. This is going to be a litmus test for both teams to see how they respond, see what their season's going to turn into. This game is for bragging rights for Carolinas. Hold on tight.
Carolina has won the toss. They will kick it away. And one final thought for you, Charles, before kickoff.
Well, looking for Charleston to see what they can do on offense. Last week they were held without scoring a touchdown at all on offense. And then on the Carolina side, let's see if that defense can clamp down a little bit and keep their opponent from putting so many points on the board.
We are about to get underway here from Carolina. Charleston Predators, Carolina Skyhawks. Let's get it going. The Predators on the return. That's DeLake out to about the 25-yard line or so, and we'll get our first look at the Charleston offense.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Charleston comes out with from a game plan standpoint. Again, we're really looking for them to put some points on the board, and let's see what kind of plan they schemed up.
So first down and 10 at the 23. Bit of a score bug malfunction. We'll get that fixed shortly for our television audience. Keith Swearingen with the catch. He picks up 1, and the Skyhawks get out there quickly on the tackle.
Yeah, Swearingen's been the number 1 target for T.D. Drew. T.D. Drew's a pretty efficient quarterback. I think that's a smart play to start the game off, build some confidence in the quarterback, and let that ride throughout the game.
The Predators and the Skyhawks both 1-1. Carolina coming off of a gut-wrenching triple overtime loss as T.D. Drew's pass is knocked down. That pass was intended for Ken Maccaro, number 10 on the far side. And there he is, Charles. Zane Doty. He had 4 interceptions last week. He was ridiculous.
He was ridiculous, and he's the leading, has a leading count of interceptions in the league. He's just a beast back there in the secondary.
Third down and 8 at the 25. 10:21 to go here early in the game. The Carolina rivalry is that ball is caught short of the first down. Buchanan Simons with the catch, an 8-yard pickup. But Carolina's defense will come out with a 3-and-out to start the ball game.
Yeah, that was a nice stop. Carolina looked like they went a little from a balance standpoint, which isn't bad. They can build on that, but Carolina defense wasn't letting them get a first down.
The Predators will punt it away, so not the start Charleston's offense was hoping for. Carolina in all red today for their home opener, the blue tops. Charleston in all white with black on the shoulders. Harish Prasad made a couple men miss early, gets it out to the 33, and we'll meet Sully Richardson in this Carolina Skyhawk offense that has been on fire to start the season.
Yeah, I think one of the things Sully's going to want to work on, and I'm sure he disagrees with this, is third down conversions. They're near the bottom of the league at 44% on third downs, and I'm sure they're trying their best to improve that.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line, and with 3 receivers, 2 to the left, it goes to Logan Jack up the middle. Jack Brown on the tackle. It's a 1-yard gain up to the 35.
Yeah, Logan Jack had a pretty solid game last week. I'm sure they're going to use him a lot, both running up the middle and on the sides, and also get him involved in the passing game.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard run from Jack. 9:26 to go in the first quarter. Ball at the 35 for the Skyhawks. 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers. Prasad bottom of the screen, handoff Jack again, and Jack is quickly met this time by Brandon Haight, who recovered a fumble and returned it all the way for a touchdown. I'm surprised he has enough energy to be playing today, the big fella, making that long fumble return last week.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring that one up. I'm still having nightmares over that one, as the person who fumbled it.
Charles Doherty, otherwise known as Pseudo Nakai for Vancouver, who had that fumble. 3rd and 8. Richardson pump fake, now throws a wobbler to the bottom of the screen. It's intercepted by Bravo. Johnny Bravo past the 35 down to the 30, and the Predators get the first turnover of the game. Richardson picked off, and what a start for Charleston.
That's Johnny Bravo's first interception of the season. Completely halted that drive of Carolina. Now they're in great position to put some points on the board.
And the last time these two teams met, Richardson went without a pick, threw 2 touchdowns, had a really nice outing, and Carolina got their only victory of the season against Charleston, but only their second win of the season, 21-10 over the Predators, as they split the season series last year, the first time that the former Indy franchise relocated to Charleston. 1st and 10 at the 30, 8:44 to go in the first. Drew takes a deep step, drop back, fires down the field, looking for tight end Lyric Da Vinci, number 46, his first target, and that's Drew's second incompletion.
Last 2 games, Charleston showed a lot of tight end, 2 tight end sets here. I don't expect that to change too much here. It's hard to defend against, and it's very efficient when you've got the likes of Da Vinci and Taylor out there receiving for you.
2nd down off the incompletion. Charleston got to turn this into points. The handoff goes to Swearingen. It only picks up 1, and we mentioned that previous meeting for Carolina, that 21-10 victory. Richardson 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the team that's won the turnover battle in this series, Carolina leads the series 2-1 all time, they've won the game.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And in this game, every time they get a turnover, they're going to need to make sure that they capitalize and put some points on the board.
Drew on a 3rd and 9, fires it into traffic, and it's caught by Jay Taylor. First target of the day for Taylor, their second tight end, but it's 1 yard short. I wonder if they'll try to go for this, Charles.
Well, you might as well. This is. It always amazes me when you run the 9-yard route when you got 10 to go. Maybe that was just a rookie route running there.
4th and 1. The offense does stay on the field, and Charleston going to burn the timeout. They didn't wait too long there. Carolina not falling for it, and so the Predators will trot out the field goal unit for the field goal. Amanda Moyer, one of 3 lovely women on the field here today from Couch to Field.
So far, we've got the defenses are handling the game so far. Neither offense has been able to click in gear, and the field goal here is going to be a big one to keep the momentum on Charleston's side.
4th and 1 at the 22. Instead of going for it, Charleston will bring on the field goal unit. It's a 38-yarder for the left-footed kicker Moyer, trying to get points off the Johnny Bravo interception, and the field goal is up, and it's good from the Predators to go up 3-0 early.
It's always good to get points on the board. I'm sure they would have wanted a touchdown, but you're putting the pressure on Carolina to respond.
Carolina gets the ball when we come back. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports. Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina. The Carolina Skyhawks hosting the Charleston Predators from South Carolina on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Harish Prasad on the return gets it out to the 27-yard line, and also a big shout out to those listening in Greenville and New Bern of North Carolina on ESPN 252 radio. So first turnover for Sully Richardson, got to shake it off.
Yeah, he hasn't historically this season made a lot of turnovers, so that was uncharacteristic of him on that last series. So I'm sure he's going to bounce back quick.
First down and 10 at the 27-yard line. 3 in the backfield now. They went with Logan Jack a couple of times here early. They'll try to throw it out to him, and nearly getting his head ripped off. Caledon Holly puts Jack down for a 2-yard loss.
It almost looked like Caledon Holly was in place to rip the ball out of the hands of Jack.
And nearly did, and nearly took a helmet along with him. As Carolina off to a bit of a slow start. Offense has been tremendous through the first couple of weeks. 4 minutes into the game, rather. It's very early. Jack off to the right of Richardson. Richardson drops to throw, fires deep down the field. Pass is caught in double coverage, but it got there in time. Holly with the tackle, but not before Shea Carroll makes the grab.
Yeah, that was a sweet pass by Richardson. You see here on the replay, plenty of time in the pocket. He just rifles it down there between the two defenders and got the ball moving. He's starting to heat up.
So Richardson's first big completion down the field goes for 21 yards to Carroll. 2 receivers, 1 to either side, 2 in the backfield, 6 in the box for Charleston. Handoff Logan Jack, and Jack could not get that block on the outside. And we go back to Harish Prasad. He's the only player in the league this season so far with a receiving touchdown and a kick return touchdown. And in 2 games, Charles, he's already got 230 receiving yards and 3 total scores.
Yeah, you got to keep the ball out of his hands if you're on Charleston.
Harish Prasad, a player. He also coaches for the squad. He's a co-owner of the team. You can do it all in the SFL. After the 2-yard loss for Jack, 5 minutes in, this is Richardson, 3-step drop, and fires into traffic. Oh, it's caught off the deflection. Shea Carroll in the right place at the right time. And Charles, this Carolina Skyhawk offense is nothing but entertaining.
Definitely entertaining. We had a little volleyball practice out there with the set. No spike, but he held on to it. That was luck, and you're never gonna complain when you got luck on your side.
In between 3 Predator defenders. And on a first down at the 37, the Skyhawks are in business off of back-to-back receptions from Carroll. This is Richardson to throw again. Richardson going long. It's caught by Prasad. Down to the 9-yard line. First down. Carolina humming on their second possession of the game.
Richardson's on fire. He's not getting any pressure at all from the Charleston defense. He has plenty of time back there to go through his progressions and just unload the ball to the open wide receiver downfield.
And what a smart route from Prasad, too, because if he would have cut inside on a post, it would have been quadruple coverage. And Prasad finds the open space on the outside. The Skyhawks are driving. 5 minutes to go. That's his first catch. It goes for 28 yards. 3 receivers, 2 to the left side. Handoff Jack. Logan Jack off to a slow start. Brown with another tackle. These linebackers for Charleston are incredibly talented.
They are incredibly talented. I still have some bruises from last week from them hitting me, high-lowing me. But I think, even though they didn't get a long run from Jack out of this one, I think it was a smart move. They need to mix it up a little bit and not become predictable on offense.
Second and goal at the 9. They're going to hand it off again to Jack. Got a block from Zoma, the tight end, but to no avail. Brandon Haight out there again to make the stop alongside Zachary Bates playing safety slot. It's third and goal from the 10, just like that.
Yeah, so far the Charleston defense has locked down both the inside and the outside, not giving the Carolina offense any options for running.
4:10 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 for the Predators. But Carolina knocking on the door of either a tie or to take the lead. 4 wide here. Richardson stands in the pocket. Oh, what a play by Bravo. It looked like Prasad was wide open, and then Bravo came literally out of nowhere and swatted that away. Here's another look.
Again, plenty of time in the pocket for Richardson, but that secondary of Charleston just had every corner covered, and there was no way that ball was going to get in there.
Broke on Prasad at the last second, and it looked like Bravo was out of position just a little bit, but ends up making the play. And a tremendous job to halt the Skyhawk drive. Richardson, 4 of 5. Since the pick, he completed 4 in a row. But then Bravo swatted it away to force 3 points. This is a field goal kicker in Wally Herman, who has not missed this year, although he did have a field goal blocked, so I don't know who you want to give that fault to, but Herman's kick is good from 27 yards, and with 3:55 to go in the first quarter now, we're all tied at 3. Back to Raleigh in a moment. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252 Radio in New Bern, Greenville. Back to David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's all tied at 3 between the Charleston Predators and the Carolina Skyhawks. Both teams 1-1. Both won in week 1. Both lost in week 2. As Dulake returns this pass to 25 to the 29. We have not met the entire Charleston Predator offense. T.D. Drew, number 7, is the quarterback. Running back is Keith Swearingen. He's got 1 carry for 1 yard here to start. Receivers, Ken McCarroll and Buchanan Simons, but it's not a deep receiving core like some of these SFL squads have. However, they do have 2 very talented and capable tight ends, Lyric Da Vinci, number 46, and Jay Taylor, number 80. 1st and 10 at the 29, and Carolina jumps off sides. Swearingen doesn't go much anywhere, but the play won't matter as the Predators will take the 5.
It looks like they were anxious to jump in that backfield, and I think they had that run play read, but a little mistake cost them 5 yards.
That offsides penalty called on Phil Hall on the defensive line, and another talented front 4 here for Carolina. Defensive end Riley Combs picked 2nd in the draft. She wears number 74. Phil Hall, number 92. Christopher Colon, number 93 at defensive tackle. Linebackers include David Horrell, Forrest Stark, who we'll talk about more later, and Shravan Prasad. Corners, Zane Doty, Davidson Joseph. Safeties, Rochelle Colston and Tristan Hatley. 1st and 5 at the 34-yard line for Drew. Hands it off to Swearingen, and Swearingen is decked after only a pickup of 1. And there again to make the play was Christopher Colon right off the line.
I think both defenses have been pretty stingy on the run so far. I don't recall seeing any run over 2 or 3 yards.
I agree, Charles. It's been tough sledding in the ground game for both squads. 2 receivers either side. And in fact, 2 tight ends and 2 receivers out there as Swearingen got another yard. They are trying to test that Carolina defense. And Forrest Stark makes the play. How about this? For the first 2 weeks of the season, Forrest Stark, an undrafted rookie, is 2nd in the league in tackles per game. He's got 25 so far this season, right up there with the veteran Avery King.
That's impressive. I mean, welcome to the league, Stark. Just don't play that well when you play Vancouver.
3rd and 3, Drew takes it on a quarterback draw and lost 3 yards. Charleston tried to get tricky, and in the backfield was... Well, I thought that was Stark again on the linebacker blitz. Fantastic job, and Forrest Stark derails that Predators drive.
Your words are magic, Cam. When you say when you talk about a player, great things happen.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say. Now, I did not predict that Carolina would jump offside. That's an encroachment on number 23, Dylan Church, the reserve free safety for the Skyhawks. And so that's going to make this a 4th and 1, but Charleston's still likely to punt it away to Harish Prasad.
Yeah, that was another good, both, with the exception of the 2 field goals, I think the defenses are hanging in there pretty strong.
90 seconds left in the first quarter, and they're coming after it. Wow. Nearly got the block. Prasad on the return from the 24-yard line. Shakes a step and gets to the 28. Wrap up down the field made by Hector Maris. And Sully Richardson, 4 of 5 on that last drive, will trot back out there. And I just love seeing, Charles, these rookies. Richardson was the number 2 pick a couple of drafts ago. You just love to see them improve, mature, and you can just see a great SFL career blossoming in front of us with Richardson on the first down at the 28. He'll flip it out to Logan Jack, and the Predators are all over this little dump-off pass. A 1-yard loss to Jack, and Hoffman makes the tackle.
Yeah, speed kills. That Charleston defense is extremely fast. They close the ball quickly, and if you're going to do one of those swing passes, you have to execute quick.
A bizarre 6-play, 2-yard drive for Charleston on the left. You don't see that very often as the Predators were pushed back after that initial first. 3 receivers, 2 to the left side for Richardson on a split back nickel look for the Predators. Richardson drops the pass on a 3-step drop, and he is dropped in the backfield. That is defensive tackle Will Hammer making the play for Charleston right up the gut.
I think he was looking, Richardson was looking for receivers downfield. The Charleston defense had it all covered, and it allowed the defensive tackle to just overpower the guard and bring down Richardson in the backfield.
3rd down and 15 now for Richardson. This is a tough situation. Empty backfield, 5 wide. Ball's on the right hash mark, moving right to left. And Richardson hit as he threw. The pass is caught by Prasad, but it is 2 yards shy of a first down. And there's Johnny Bravo again, making another critical play for this Predator defense. And just like we've seen in the first 3 games between these two franchises in this series, not a ton of points and a lot of great defense.
Yeah, there's a lot of credit that goes around on that Charleston defense there. You had pressure on the quarterback. He got rid of it at the very last second, and the cornerback was right all over the wide receiver. There's no way they were going to get a first down.
Charleston is definitely playing their game in a 3-3 ball game. They would much prefer to be to kind of have this type of a game. I think Carolina more used to playing in some shootouts early on in the season, as Simons returns the punt up to the 31. That ends the first quarter of play. The Predators and Skyhawks all knotted at 3. The Battle of Carolina rolls on. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252 in Greenville and New Bern. Welcome back to North Carolina. The Charleston Predators, the Carolina Skyhawks are tied at 3. Charleston's got the football. One drive in this game went for over 10 yards. A 9-play, 62-yard drive for Carolina that ended in a field goal. Every other drive, 5 of the first 6, have either gone backwards or for nothing at all. That's a 5-yard loss on a sack. And Phil Hall, who made the sack, is now hurt. A star defensive lineman for Carolina. That is a problem. Let's get another look at this.
Yeah, he won right at the snap. He powered his way in. I don't know. Maybe he twisted his abdomen or something when he was down on the ground.
Yeah, it looked like the weight of T.D. Drew fell back on Phil Hall. And Carolina's defensive front has been outstanding so far. That could be a big loss for the Skyhawks here in a very close game. Drew just 3 of 5 for 16 yards. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. That's Maccaro, bottom of the screen. Simons, top of the screen to the right of Drew. And Swearingen gets bumped out of bounds on a 3-yard loss. Going back to these early drives, 5 of the first 6 drives had a combined 20 plays go for 27 yards. So it was a tough sledding for the offenses in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're waiting for one of the offenses to take charge here in the game. So far, the defenses are winning.
There's a look at Davidson Joseph on the outside defending Simons. 3rd and 12 here for Charleston. Drew, 7-step drop from under center, going long to Simons. It's picked off by Joseph. What an adjustment to the football. Simons was going long, and Joseph makes the play. First pick for T.D. Drew.
It's that magical Cam again, talking about the player, and crazy things happen. I mean, that was great defense, great closing speed. I thought Simons had that. He was wide open, but the cornerback just closed that down quick.
So both quarterbacks now with a pick early on. And Joseph making things happen for the Skyhawks. Of course, this Skyhawks defense, they force turnovers like nobody's business. First down at the 49. Handoff goes to Logan Jack. Jack gets a nice chunk of yards, 7. There's a look at the team comparison. Carolina +5 turnover differential from the first 2 weeks of the season. That's best in the league. They give up a lot of points, a lot of yards, over 500 a game, but boy, they're an opportunistic bunch.
Definitely, and the key point here is the number of mistakes that the offense makes. I mean, Sully's really maturing into one of the premier quarterbacks in the league.
2nd down and 3 at the 43-yard line. 10:15 to go in the first half. That's Zoma in the backfield with Jack. To sidecar right of Richardson. Handoff goes to Jack again, and Jack is plastered by Holly. Holly's second tackle. 4 different Predators now, each with a couple tackles in the first half, and it'll set up a 3rd and short for Carolina. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down so far.
It looks like the line didn't give any help to Logan Jack on that one. It was one-on-one, him against 3 defenders, so they're making it a tough going there. I think the offensive line needs to step it up on run blocking.
2 backs, 2 receivers again here. 3-4 look for Charleston's defense. Richardson, 3-step drop, looking for an open receiver, goes into double coverage, and Johnny Bravo again was blanketing Harish Prasad, and you can tell from Charleston watching film, they wanted to make sure that Harish Prasad did not beat them today.
I think if Richardson would have held onto the ball a little more, I think that Prasad would have been open downfield once he got past that zone.
A shout out to Rare Breed Apparel, who just joined our Discord server. And if you would like to join the SFL on Discord and become a player on the field, visit simulationfl.net and join our Discord community today. Charles had to hold in his lunch and that was almost another punt block down in the end zone at the 20. And that is where the Predators will take over. So Charleston does nothing with the interception, Carolina rather, on just a 7-yard, 4-play drive, and the tough sledding for offenses continue.
Yeah, Charleston dodged the bullet on that interception. And they can shake it off now and then have a good drive here and put some points on the board.
Drew out of the gun here to start the drive. Charleston looking to get a little bit more assertive. 7 in the box for Carolina's defense. Quick out to Simons. That's a catch for 4 yards, and Simons tried to get loose on that last possession. He is the deep ball threat of this squad, picked up in the offseason from Chicago.
He was known in Chicago as a deep ball threat. He's actually 11th all-time in yards per reception. So I haven't seen them use him a lot on the deep pass. On that last series, though, they gave it a try, and it wound up in an interception.
2nd and 6 at the 24. Handoff goes to Swearingen, bounces off a tackle and gets just one. And these two running backs continue their slugging through the tackles. David Harrell with his first stop for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, I'm curious to see which one of these running backs is going to be able to break a run of 5 yards or more.
Yeah, well, 5 yards would get Charleston a first down. The two teams are combined 0 for 8 on 3rd down in the game. It's 8:46 to go in the first half. Drew to throw down the middle. It's picked off at the 40. I think he went to the wrong man. Maccaro doubled up. It looked like that was either Da Vinci or Taylor open down the field, and the defenses continue the dominance. Tristan Hatley with the takeaway.
Yeah, I think he was feeling, T.D. Drew was feeling some heat from the rush and had to get rid of that ball, so he wasn't able to go through his full progressions. Tried to get rid of it as quick as he can, and it was a mistake throwing it in the middle.
That was an interesting play, Charles. It looked like Da Vinci was more open, but he was not even looking for the football, and it ended up going past Da Vinci and into the hands of Hatley. So Hatley and Joseph now with INTs for Carolina. They are now +6 in turnover differential this season. What a play in the slot. Caught for a gain of about 12 by Prasad. Blanketed, but he ran a quick double move inside, and the Skyhawks are in field goal range.
And just look what he does after he catches the ball. He's so dangerous. You know, we talked earlier in the game, he's also a returner as well, and dangerous at that. But, I mean, you have to bring 3 or 4 guys on to stop him, because once he gets that step, he's gone.
He crossed in front of Brandon Haight, and it happened so fast for Haight out there that he just, I mean, it was a blur.
I think that interception by Hatley means that now everyone in their backfield has an interception this season.
That's true, and that secondary has been phenomenal as that run only goes for 1. The tackle made by Josh Reese, the newcomer from last week.
Yeah, like you got to love it when the players are out there rocking that single bar on face mask. Love that old school look.
Love the courage. 91 yards and a pick from Richardson. Ball on the Charleston 26, tied 3-3. Carolina moving from left to right in this second quarter. Pass caught at the 13-yard line for a first down. Hawley with a tackle, but Shea Carroll's got 3 early, and the Skyhawks in the red zone.
Really nice play by Sully Richardson. He knew where he was going to go with this, had to get rid of the ball quick because Hawley was closing fast.
And this is what we've seen out of Carolina's offense through the first quarter of the season. The balance offensively in the passing game. Richardson 8 of 11 for 101 yards. Carroll's got 3 for 51. Prasad's got 3 for 53 on 5 targets. 1st and 10 at the 13. One receiver, Prasad, top of the screen. Richardson throws it over the middle to the tight end. That was a number 81, Terry Savert, the intended receiver. And that was nearly a catch and fumble.
Yeah, maybe Richardson should have diverted that throw to Zavert to maybe someone else. He had it in his hands and just dropped it. I thought that was going to be a short touchdown.
The tight end, Jack Flash, number 86, the starter on this squad. 3 receivers, 2 to the left now. Richardson going to hand it off to Jack. Logan Jack gets 4. That's the longest run of the day. Check that. Jack had 1 for 7. But check this out, Charles. Here in the first half, these 2 running backs have combined for 13 carries for 14 yards.
Wow. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not the only way that these 2 running backs have been identical in the past. 2 living out similar careers. 3rd and 6 at the 9. 6:35 to go in the first half. Richardson trying to come away with 6. Fires it short, and twice having a chance at the interception was Oscar Steed, playing in the slot safety position for the Predators defense, and Wally Herman says, guys, I don't want to have to work this hard. You don't have to come out for
my leg's getting tired. That was great defense by Charleston. I mean, they've shown yet again that as you get closer to the end zone, they start locking down, and those wide open holes you're seeing previously are shut down.
So for Carolina, who in week 1 won 35 to 28, and then in week 2 lost in triple overtime by a similar score, 42-36, I think, something like that. This is not the way Carolina's used to playing games here in season 14. It's 6-3, 6:28 to go in the first half. Skyhawks up by 3. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252, Greenville, New Bern. .6:28 to go in the first half. Alongside Andy Hamilton in the stats truck, Charles Doherty, my analyst. I am Cameron Irvine. Carolina on their 2 scoring drives, 9 plays, 62 yards, 7 plays, 29 yards, have reached the red zone both times, but have come away empty with field goals. And before the break, we were talking about these running backs. Charles, their careers are nearly identical. 3,095 yards for Swearingen all time, 3,035 yards for Jack. It's 27th and 28th all time, neck and neck.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out which one's going to score a touchdown today. Who are you going to guess?
Oh boy, now you're putting me on the spot,
well,
because
I've
been pretty good at this so far today. I don't know, maybe Swearingen on this drive,
there
although I want to change that immediately after Forrest Stark makes another play in the backfield, his 4th tackle already here in this first half, and this is just an incredible pickup by the Carolina Skyhawks, getting this undrafted rookie here, 6'4", 240.
Yeah, both of these defenses are putting on a display of defense, textbook 101 defense.
5:55 to go in the half. 6-3 Carolina on top of Charleston. Deep ball is caught in double coverage by Simons. He pops up and says, "How you like me now?" What a throw and catch, even a better catch for Simons.
That's a resume maker catch right there. I mean, he went up against 2 defenders and just ripped it down. There was no way they're going to get the ball away from him.
Wow, and that went right into the ear hole of Zane Doty. TD Drew unafraid, and a catch like that, Charles, that helps build rapport with your quarterback. He'll give you some more of those.
Also pumps up the rest of the offense when you see somebody putting that type of effort in.
1st and 10 to the 39. Drew will fire it over the middle. That pass caught by Taylor. Pickup of 6. And just as you were saying, Charles, a little bit of life in this Predators offense after Drew previously had less than 30 yards passing. He's up to 7 of 11 for 46 in the first half.
I believe the last couple games, looks like Charleston went into hurry up a lot. We're not seeing that at all this first half. I think maybe that might give them a little advantage against Carolina.
Under 5 to go. Empty backfield here for Drew. Drew is going to be sacked despite the loss of Cologne, which time TBD on that injury. Riley Combs hits one out of the park and puts Drew on his back.
Yeah, it was Riley Combs, and it looks like Christopher Cologne, where they're tag teaming up the middle and just blowing up that offensive line. This makes her, I believe this is her 2nd sack of the season.
No Phil Hall on that line. That's who suffered the injury early. 8 in the box here for the Skyhawks, as Drew will throw again, and this time overthrown, although it looked like Taylor might have been bumped a little bit. And just like that, Charles, it's 4th down, and that seemed to happen almost immediately. It felt like
there was a little spark. We saw a little spark, and then Carolina just poured a bucket of water on it.
They really did. The sack really sort of derailed that whole drive, and there was some contact there on Taylor, but it might have been within 5 yards, and the Predators will have to punt it away. And Charles, this Charleston offense in week 1, they looked so good against the London Knights, but week 1, nobody really has any film on them. It's a new offense, a 2 tight end, 2 receiver offense. They played Vancouver in week 2. Charleston had a really tough time getting the offense moving. And here today, just 3 points on a Skyhawk defense that's given up over 35 a ball game through the first 2 weeks.
You could also say that Charleston had almost was like a 3/4 almost of tape on Carolina to help come up with a game plan. So I'm a little surprised that the offense isn't a little more fired up than it is.
Outside to Jack, going to pick up 15 on the reception. And Logan Jack able to get outside and pick up a bunch of yards.
Yeah, I love it when you got to get these running backs involved here. I think the team that's going to win is the one that has the better numbers for their running back.
So if you're watching or listening for the first time, what is the Simulation Football League? Instead of two players playing in front of a video screen with their controllers and their thumb skills and all that stuff, forget all that. All the strategies are submitted in advance by these coaching staffs who work tirelessly. Charles here is a defensive coordinator for Vancouver as that pass is swatted away by Bravo again, Prasad, the intended receiver. But all the strategies are submitted in advance, and then not only do the coaches watch it play out in real time, but all the team owners and all the players around the league, over 400 players in the SFL community and growing by the day. SimulationFL.net is where you can find more information.
I joined just because there wasn't any pressure on thumb skills.
That's right. That's all you needed, and you were sold.
I have no thumb skills.
Richardson down the field, caught, stepped up in the pocket, threw off his front foot, a rocket to Harish Prasad for the first down of the Charleston 39-yard line.
That catch and Simon's catches are the two best of the game.
Oh, that same double
nice
move.
cut. Look at that route he ran. It was perfect. Precision, jumped up in the air. That was the only place to put the ball by Richardson, and that was overall between Richardson and Prasad. It was a great play.
Post corner, far side of the field. Prasad has burned Bravo on it twice. And with 3.5 to go in the first half, Carolina is starting to build some momentum, up 6-3 on the Predators. Both teams 1-1. This is Week 3 action in the SFL's 14th season. Jack is smashed at the line of scrimmage, and Charles Hader's going to hate. And Harish Prasad, it's giving me flashbacks to the 2019 convention. Harish Prasad is down.
Oh, my gosh.
He is hurt, and Klein is holding his head in despair. We get a look on the replay here, and Prasad, who was blocking for Jack down the field, just seemed to sort of cripple up at the end of that play. Almost like one of those sunshades in your car that you can never just get back in the bag.
Yes.
Just throwing it in your trunk.
Yeah, a lot of injuries with sunshades.
Well, not the injury part.
Oh, I'm just trying to back you up on that.
2nd and 10, Jack. No gain. And now, if you're Carolina, you've lost Harish Prasad and you've lost Phil Hall. These are two vital pieces to both sides of the ball.
Definitely. I mean, I'm getting flashbacks from the convention. That really hurt the Carolina offense. Let's see how they respond with Prasad on the sidelines.
For newcomers to the SFL that might not know what we're referencing, the 2019 convention held in Atlanta, and we were live on location, as was Harish Prasad. They had a big game against their rivals, Baltimore, as that's a sack in the backfield on Richardson to force a 4th down. That'll actually stall the drive out. Jeff Hollywood makes the play for Charleston in the backfield. But we were on location. Carolina was playing Baltimore. It was the last game of the day. 5 games in a row from the convention floor. And the first, I think it was the first throw or completion of the game to Prasad, he got hurt. And that was the end of it. His night was done, and it's been a meme really ever since. Nice punt there, going to be down at the 4.
Love it.
And so now Charleston is back in their own territory. And honestly, Charles, if I'm the Predators, I'm only down 3. Carolina's down 2 star players. I'm just trying to run as much clock out as I can in this first half and go. I'm only down 3 on the road. I'll take it at this point.
That makes a lot of sense. And it also gets you get the pitch count up a little bit on the running back. Maybe he can get into a groove, and the offensive line can get into a groove from a blocking standpoint.
From the 4, Drew going to hand it right off to Swearingen. Swearingen
breaks
a tackle.
There you go.
And how about you, the Magic Man, calling out players. Swearingen gets 12 yards, and a little of that magic dust rubbing off on you, Doherty.
I think that's the Cam magic still. Thank you, though. I appreciate your kindness.
Nice run from Swearingen. That's more yards than he's had the entire day. Had 4, Before that carry,
Yep,
gets 12 there.
He had to take. He was going to go. He had to take it outside. I think he was going to go inside. The plan was designed that way. Didn't see an opening, and he just bounced outside and made a great run.
2-minute warning. 6-3. Carolina on top of Charleston. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252 Greenville, New Bern. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina. At the 2-minute warning of the first half, the Skyhawks lead the Predators 6-3. Charleston has 2 timeouts to work with deep in their own territory. Swearingen starting to break off some tackles, picks up 7. They're going no huddle, Charles.
Yeah, I think it's they should have done that earlier in the quarter. That's okay, but it looks like Swearingen's starting to get a little steam up.
On a trap play, Swearingen. Oh, I thought he was going to get more. That hole closed quickly. Only a 1-yard pickup, so now it's 3rd down and 2. Is Drew going to pass here? Yes, he will. TD Drew fires it near side, caught. Ken McCarro out of bounds.
Smart play.
They're running it, no huddle anyway.
Yeah, I think they've got it on the sides there. They could march down the field if they keep doing those quick outs.
1:33 to go, and Drew's going to throw again. Pump fake now going long. It's caught by McCarro down to the 45-yard line. What a beautiful pump fake from Drew, and this is the best we've seen the Predators offense all day. 1:18 to go. Drew quickly up to the line. Handoff Swearingen. Swearingen will muscle ahead for 2 yards and the variety of this 2-minute drill is outstanding.
Mixing it up. They're mixing it up. That's great.
1:08 to go in the quarter. Fast pace here. Charleston. Drew in the pocket. Collapsing. Deep ball Da Vinci. Knocked away and nearly intercepted.
Oh, he had it.
And Prasad is done for the day. A kneecap injury. Harish Prasad out. That's going to change the kick return and punt return game. It's going to dramatically change the way that the Carolina Skyhawks run their offense. And keep in mind, Logan Jack only 10 yards on 11 carries, so it's not like they can just necessarily rely on the run game.
Yep, who's going to step up for Carolina?
2 receivers either side, 3rd and 8 for Drew. Drew ran into Swearingen, and that threw off the timing of the whole play. And just like that, again, somebody stopped giving Carolina buckets of water.
Yep,
they dump it on Charleston. And another punt upcoming for the Predators.
Yeah, they were right on the edge of field goal, too. I think 1 or 2 more plays they would have been there. But Carolina stood tall as they got closer to the red zone.
It's the 7th punt in total of this first half, the 4th for Charleston, and that has to be just a huge deflator for the Predators. Really like that no huddle they were running, and a deep shot to McCarro. The highlight of the drive. This punt is going to be fair caught, and Lord knows who that is out there without Prasad. That appeared to be, was that the tight end, Savert, that called
I believe
that fair
so.
catch?
Yep, I believe so.
Well, you never know in the SFL with the limited rosters, only 42 players per team, and so it really turns into an execution by committee out there for squads, especially when they're as banged up as Carolina's gotten in this first half. 1st and 10 at the 11. Sidearm throw, incomplete. And dangerous. I'm really surprised Charleston, as they were looking for Carroll, is doing anything with this first half. Get to the locker room.
Definitely. You got to go to the locker room and lick your wounds and come back out. There's you don't want to give the ball to Charleston at this part in the field. I mean, it's almost an instant field goal.
We've got a member of the SFL community saying somebody needs to check the replay and see who's kneecapping guys out there. And it was Johnny Bravo, but it looked like sort of a self-inflicted, maybe non-contact injury from Prasad, as Richardson will flip it outside, and that stops the clock again, looking for Zoma. And they're going to rule it a catch and a loss of 1 and a stop of the clock. So 4 seconds have gone off the clock on this drive for the Skyhawks, and Charleston could end up getting it in decent field goal range with a stop here.
Yeah, it's 1 mistake away from disaster.
Richardson out of the gun with 4 wide. Remember, no Prasad. 3-2 dime look for Charleston. Richardson to throw. Richardson fires outside, and running out of bounds. They're actually going to say it's incomplete. And that was the first target of the day for the 39th pick in the rookie draft. Their first pick in the second round, Flash Furman. But it stops the clock with 43 seconds to go. Carolina takes 10 seconds off the clock on that drive, and Charleston's got one more shot at it.
Yeah, Matt Johnson's going to need to do a stellar punt here. Get it past the 50.
We mentioned it earlier, Charles, but this is a tremendous uniform matchup. I love these all reds for Charleston, the all whites, or I'm sorry, all reds for Carolina, all whites for Charleston here today. As Dulake, actually Simons rather, gets it out to the Carolina 37, and that's only about 5 yards outside of Amanda Moyer's range. Poor execution by the Skyhawks on that last possession.
Yeah, it's like they, they blew a tire out and they weren't executing like they normally would. They're in good position here, Charleston. Let's hope they can capitalize and put some points up.
The last Predator drive went 53 yards on 9 plays, but ended in a punt. The longest drive of the day for Charleston. Drew, 7-step drop, fires deep. One-on-one coverage. Simons caught, touchdown. Charleston with the first touchdown of the day. And it comes after a 10-second Carolina drive that took nothing off the clock.
Yeah, we talked about him earlier in the game, his high yards per reception. You can see why. He's got great route running skills, but when he catches that ball, he hits it into another level, and he's hard to bring down.
Over the head of Davidson Joseph, who got the interception on the last deep ball thrown Buchanan Simons' way. And with 29 seconds on the first half clock, this game is just totally turned on its head. And if you take the previous Charleston drive and combine it with this last drive, they now have 88 yards on their last 10 plays after the Predators had done nothing for almost the entire first half.
Well, that's good momentum to take into the locker room with you. I mean, they capitalized on the mistakes that Carolina made.
I think if you're the Skyhawks in the locker room, you've got to figure out a way to get Logan Jack going.
Agreed.
In this second half, because they're going to need him. And Jack last week against New Orleans, his former team, he showed up, man.
Yep.
First play of the game, he scored a touchdown, and then on his second carry, he scored another one. But we have not seen that today, and now Davidson Joseph handling the kickoff return duties for Carolina. And they'll start this drive on the 24.
Just run the clock out and go into the locker room.
Learn from the mistakes of the previous drive.
Yep.
They'll probably throw a touchdown on this
Well,
play.
there you go.
Just to smite us.
It's my anti-magic.
7 in the box for the Predators. 3 down linemen, 2 receivers, and an I formation here for Richardson. Hands it off to Jack. Jack got one block, breaks a tackle. Look at the Charleston defense.
Wow.
Like the whale in the water. Just ripping up fish. A loss of 1 in the backfield for Jack. Flying out of the water, taking birds out of the air.
Free
Whatever
Willie.
You got to do.
Willie is free and roaming. He's on the hunt.
I've had better is what you're trying to say. That is the end of the first half on a Logan Jack run. Gets it up to the 31-yard line. Brown with the tackle, his 5th. And that brings us to the end of the first half. A first half that seemed to be dominated by the Carolina Skyhawks. But when you look at the scoreboard at the end of the half, it's Charleston up 10-6. And your first half stats and highlights are next. And these numbers will be quite interesting. 139 for Charleston, 155 for Carolina in total offense. Predators had the ball nearly 4 minutes less, but still up 4.
I think when you saw each injury go down on the Carolina team, they just changed. I mean, they weren't playing on all cylinders from an offensive standpoint, but it looks like a little of the wind got taken out of their sails. First when Hall went down, and then when Prasad went down.
There's a field goal from Moyer. These 2 kickers have been outstanding here today and all season long. And a couple of critical pieces to these organizations. Kickers are people too.
They are definitely people too.
There's that look.
At the end of the game, they were the most important person.
Oh yeah, it's a make or break at that point. As you saw that double move from Prasad the first time able to beat Johnny Bravo. But Davidson Joseph with that interception outside Swearingen finished the first half with 28 yards rushing. How about Caledon Holly at corner with 6 solo tackles, leads everybody. Forrest Stark, second in the league coming in, averaging 12.5 tackles per game. Had 5 solos in that first half. And Drew, despite the 2 early interceptions, has to feel okay how that first half ended. 10-17 for $114 through the air.
Yeah, he has some momentum going in the locker room. But besides that one drive where Drew threw that touchdown pass, I think both defenses were putting on a display out there. I mean, neither offense was able to do anything.
Richardson, 11 of 19, 138 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. QBR 58.7, which is just under Drew's 59.1. That was Drew's best throw of the first half there on that dart to Ken Maccaro, who was picked up in Denver. And you got to tip your hat to the Predators. They sure did their job at free agency, getting Maccaro and Simons on the outside to electrify this offense. And honestly, with Prasad out of the game, that's been the difference in the first half.
Yeah, Simons had a handful of catches in the first half, but 2 of those, that one where he jumped up and ripped it down out of the sky, and then obviously that touchdown pass, both of those are on the highlight reel.
Start of the second half coming your way. Charleston 10, Carolina 6. Here in week 3 of season 14 of the Simulation Football League, and more action comes your way tomorrow night on the 11 Sports and For the Fans Network. The defending champion Denver Nightwings, 0-2, trying to avoid an 0-3 start. They're at home against the undefeated Baltimore Vultures, one of 4 teams unbeaten in the SFL. That starts action at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, Mike Dagg's Matt Wilson in their traditional Game of the Week spot, the Tulsa Desperados hosting the Queen City Corsairs. Those 2 franchises do not get together very often, but 2 fun teams to start the season. They've provided plenty of fireworks.
Yeah, and in this game here, both Furman and Carroll on the receiving corps, Carolina, are going to need to pick up some slack.
So the Skyhawks start with a run here in the third quarter, and Jack picks up 3. So like to see that out of Carolina, and hey, if he can get 3 every time, they can move these chains.
Definitely. I love when they keep the running back in the game. You can't forget them. I mean, they haven't. It doesn't look like they've thrown a lot of passes to Jack today.
Second down and 7, 10:25 to go in the third. 3 in the backfield. They'll flip it out to Jack. Jack got a block this time. Has plenty of room. 35-40. Got another block downfield. And then another. 3 blocks downfield for Logan Jack all the way to the Charleston 40-yard line. It's a pass for 34 yards and a first down.
Well, Jack's picking up the slack. Number 1 wide receiver's down. This is a play that helps put some life into their offense, and now they're in scoring position.
What a great block. The last block to be picked up, that looked like that was Jack Flash, the tight end, and there was Harish Prasad standing there on the sidelines. Saw him nursing that knee injury, but cheering on his teammates nonetheless. And that's the biggest play of this offense since Prasad went out. Handoff Logan Jack, his 3rd straight touch, but this time he is shut down inside. That wrap-up made by Kent Mason, Brandon Haight.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad. Again, you got to keep the running back involved. Not a lot of yards on that play, but you got to keep the defense guessing. So, hopefully, maybe they'll look maybe downfield to one of their wide receivers in Furman or Carroll.
9:25 to go third quarter. 10-6. Charleston on top of Carolina. Out of the eye. Richardson to throw. Richardson in trouble. Avoids a sack and then gets smacked from behind by Joseph Saboka. The 26th pick in the SFL rookie draft this offseason gets his first sack of the day.
Also got to say that both for that first sack of the game and the season and his career, you also have Jeff Hollywood as well on the previous possession. He had a sack as well. So congratulations to both Hollywood and Saboka.
3rd and 12 at the 43. 5 receivers, empty backfield for the Skyhawks. 0 for 7 on 3rd down today. Richardson going long, and that pass is knocked away. Broken up by Josh Reese down the field, signed just last week. And Josh Reese, what a addition he's been to this team. 8 solo tackles, 3 assisted last week, had a pick in his debut, just signed last week.
Yeah, I think Carolina is really going to have a hard time trying to complete those long pass routes. I think they're going to need to maybe start considering focusing on the medium to short, because that secondary of Charleston, especially when you have your number 1 wide receiver out, they're going to shut it down.
Josh Reese went from couch to field last week, and it just goes to show you it can happen to anybody at any time. And Simons returns that up to the 19-yard line, and for whatever reason, Simons has shoved Dulake to the bench. I got this, says Simons on the punt return. So Drew will come back out, and Dwayne Schindler making a great point in our SFL community saying, Harish, this isn't your week. Didn't you get hurt in week 3 last year?
Yeah.
Or the 2 seasons ago at the convention? And I do believe he's right. It might have been week 4, though, but still, this time of year. It was at home, too.
Yeah. So Simons has got the hot hand, if you will, and let's see if they go back to him this series.
35-yard, 6-play drive that ends in a punt. Drew on another quarterback draw, actually going to get a yard there, and Stark comes away with another tackle. I think
that
Charleston,
was a design run?
Yeah, I think they're the first team I've seen ever to run a quarterback draw out of their playbook, and I tell you what, it's easy to criticize the first 2 times, but if he's able to get away from Forrest Stark, who knows? Adding another wrinkle. That's what these coaches are always trying to do, keep the defenses on their toes. Swearingen
I thought he was going to bounce out on that one.
got through one and gets to the 25, a 5-yard gain to set up a 3rd and 4.
That was a big run. Didn't get the first down, but 3rd and 4 is a manageable situation for TD Drew.
Drew will go under center. Swearingen sidecar right. Maccaro top of the screen. Simons bottom of the screen to the right of Drew. Carolina jumped offside. That's going to be a first down. Wipes away a sack. So the Predators will continue on this series. Just 1 for 8 on 3rd down, but that gets wiped away. Hayes jumps offside, the defensive tackle, and that might be the defensive tackle that's in for the injured Phil Hall.
I believe you're correct on that, and that was very unfortunate, giving life back to Charleston and 4 more downs.
Hall in his 6th SFL season, all of them with Carolina, as you get these updated numbers on Swearingen, 10 carries, 33 yards. This team has loyalty like no other, and we'll get to it in just a moment. 7:12 to go in the 3rd, and the handoff goes to Swearingen. Swearingen will pick up 4. Sully Richardson, Tony Zoma, Harish Prasad, Phil Hall, Christopher Colon, Shravon Prasad, and Rochelle Colston have spent their entire careers with the Skyhawks team since they joined the league. They are not rookies, veterans on this team, and even though Carolina has not done a ton of winning in their day, it's a culture that people just can't get enough of. And on 2nd and 6, Simons is wide open for the Predators, gets a first down. Joseph on the tackle playing shallow, and the Predators have a move of the chains to the 42-yard line.
I like the play calling on Charleston's side for this first possession, and you got a first down there from Simons. I'm thinking maybe they might send him a little deeper here on this next series.
6:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. Predators up by 4. Driving. Drew steps up in the pocket. Fires short. Simons in double coverage. He had to bend down. Looked like he had 2 45-pound weights on either side of the bar there as he squats to make the grab for a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, a lot of squatting action on that pass.
Almost halfway through the 3rd quarter here. Still the same score. 10-6 Charleston. Keith Swearingen gets another carry, and they'll set up a 3rd down and 6. And for the lack of scoring, we sure had plenty of plays. 88 total plays so far in this one. It's been kind of an up-tempo football game here today, and just tit for tat.
Yeah, I'm as I said in the first half, if one of these offenses throws in a little bit of 2-minute offense, I think they can get some success.
3rd and 6 of the 46. Push up front by the Skyhawk defense. Dumps it off to Da Vinci, does Drew, and that got nothing. And you could feel the pressure at the feet of TD Drew because he just wanted to get rid of it quickly. And a beautiful job by the Skyhawk offensive line to get the defensive line to get the D off the field.
Yeah, great defense by Carolina getting the ball back. And there are a couple odd pass plays on that. The play selection, I think, was a little interesting. But, here comes Carolina, and they get a shot to put some points on the board.
Return will start from the 16 for the Skyhawks. Not much room there, only the 18-yard line. And we'll take a short break. We'll come back to Raleigh in a moment. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and listening to ESPN 252 Radio in New Bern, Greenville. Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina. 4:41 to go in the third quarter. Charleston leading Carolina 10-6 in the first controllerless esport in the world, the Simulation Football League, simulationfl.net. First and 10 at the 18. Carolina starts with split backs on the right hash, and Logan Jack, I don't know if he just did not see Yogi Barr, but I don't know how that's possible. 284-pound defensive end wraps up Barr for a loss of one, or Jack rather, and it looked like he had plenty of room.
He did have plenty of room. I thought it looked like he kind of maybe went to the left a little bit instead of just staying straight. I think he could have got at least 5 out of that run.
4:15 left third quarter. Richardson drops to throw. Richardson scrambling out of the pocket, fires across his body over the middle of the field, and it's nearly taken away by Zachary Bates in his third season and previously with St. Louis. 3rd and 11 for Carolina.
I think Bates needs to bring that one in. That would have been choice position for the offense of Charleston.
Charles, this game to me just solidifies how good of a defensive coaching staff that Charleston has, because this Carolina offense has been on fire over the first couple of weeks, and they have been bottled up here in their home opener. 3rd and 11 for Richardson, empty 5 wide, 4-man rush on a late blitz. The safety hit Richardson as he threw, and the pass is caught for a first down way out to the 33-yard line, a pickup of 16 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Sully Richardson is showing his maturation process there as he stands in the pocket, gets some heat, got rid of it at the last millisecond.
Steed, the safety, coming in hot after 3 defensive linemen were the only rushers, and he nearly came up with a sack, but found the open man. Did you catch who?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either. That's my mistake. Apologies. 1st and 10. I think it might have been Carroll there at the top of the screen. Yeah, Shea Carroll. Thank you, Andy. Yeah. 1st and 10 to the 33. Andy Hamilton, our eyes and ears out there, and Brandon Haight nearly got the interception. That would have been his 2nd consecutive turnover.
Yeah, you got to get that and shut down Carolina. They're starting to heat up there, and Charleston they're playing good defense, but they need to capitalize on those gimmies they're giving.
2nd consecutive game with a turnover is rather what I meant to say. As Carolina will line up for a 2nd and 10 off the incompletion. Richardson is now 13 for 24 for $188. 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. Richardson straight back, quick slant, caught. 7-yard pickup to the 40. Wrap up made by number 55, Kent Mace. And that catch made by Carroll again. Back-to-back grabs for Shea.
Yeah, Shea stepping up, but that was a great tackle there by the linebacker. Kept them from getting the first down.
Richardson up to $196, 65 QBR, 3rd down and 3. That last 3rd down was their first 3rd down conversion of the day. Trying to pick up their 2nd in a row here. Richardson fires down the field. Oh, what a play by Haight. Haight is going to hate as he knocks it away and forces a 4th down. And Charleston's defense gets off the field once again.
Yeah, big play there. He's got some albatross arms there. You see how long he stretched out there and knocked that down? It's incredible reach he has.
I didn't think he had a chance to get that ball. But Haight leaps up to make the play. H-A-I-G-H-T. A pretty awesome way to spell Haight there for Charleston's linebacker in his 3rd season. And, hey, Charleston's got some loyal players as well. Haight, Bravo, Holly, Hoffman, all veterans on this Charleston defense with the club for their entire career. Simon's up to the 24, nothing more. 3:11 to go in the third. We're pitching blanks in the second half, but the Predators still lead 10-6. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and listening to the SFL on ESPN 252, Greenville, New Bern. Back here in Raleigh, 3:11 to go in the third quarter. The Charleston Predators 10, the Carolina Skyhawks 6. This is the Simulation Football League here in season 14. Handoff Keith Swearingen for the Predators. It's 6 to the 29.
That was a 6-yard run. That could have been the longest run of the day.
And if it wasn't, let's see, Swearingen's longest run is 12.
Oh, really?
And Jack's run is 8.
He snuck that one in there.
Hey, it hasn't been a lot down the field. I'll give you that, Charles, for sure. These two run defenses have been exceptional. 4-3 look out of Carolina. And Swearingen.
Here we go.
Oh, didn't get the first
right
down,
there.
but yeah, pure effort from Swearingen
Wow.
as he bounced around in the backfield. Tackle made by Rochelle Colston, who's been a bit quiet today, but makes the wrap-up.
Yeah, that was a big tackle there, and a lot of effort by Swearingen. Let's see if they go to the well again. It doesn't look like they're going to. Maybe this is going to be a pass play.
3rd and 1. Drew fakes the handoff. Play action. First time we've seen him run that today.
That was nice.
They ran that with success over the first couple of weeks of the season, and Ken Maccaro makes the grab. They go back to the well, and it pays off for Drew, now 14 to 21.
That was a smart pass right there. It was executed perfectly.
And what a time to run it on 3rd down and 1. You run it twice to Swearingen, and then the play action. That was terrific offense there from the Predators. First down at the 37. Buchanan Simons has the game's lone touchdown. Predators up 10-6. Drew working from left to right. And I don't know where Jay Taylor's going. Forward progress will give him 3 yards. But
he forgot his wallet back in the huddle.
And forgot his hula hoop, too. That's the only way that made any sense. Loss of, gains 3, but he lost about 3 on moving backwards. Second down and 7 at the 40. 1:10 to go in the third. Drew fires it. Oh, it's
unbelievable.
caught in double coverage, Maccaro. 30-25 to the 22-yard line. A thrilling catch for Ken Maccaro. He's got 72 yards on 4 grabs.
Yeah, let's see this on the replay. I mean, I did not think there was any chance whatsoever for Maccaro to bring that down.
Oh, my goodness. He had no business throwing that ball.
Unbelievable.
And tremendous concentration from Ken Maccaro down the field. And the Skyhawks have to be feeling a bit frustrated at this point. Things just not going their way. Predators on the road here trying to improve to 2-1. Playing their type of low-scoring, grinded-out football game. Swearingen sidecar left to Drew, and he'll take a handoff up the middle for 7. 2nd and 3 at the 16 now in the red zone.
Yeah, nice run up the middle, nice blocking up front. They're clearly in field goal range now, so the pressure's on the Carolina defense to see if they can rise up and stop them. They've done it all game. Let's see what they can do.
This might be the final play of the quarter. Carolina desperately trying to hold Charleston to 3 to keep it a 1-score game. Turn around, hand on a trap to Swearingen, and he's trapped at the line of scrimmage. Shravan Prasad makes the tackle. Along with Forrest Stark, and that is the end of the third. Put your 4s up. We're headed to the 4th. The Predators have the ball up 4. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252, Greenville, New Bern. start of the fourth quarter here from Raleigh, North Carolina, and Charleston's up 10-6 on the Skyhawks. They've got a 3rd and 3 at the 15-yard line, trying to get a first down. Swearingen does, up to the 8, another 7-yard gain, and now up to a respectable 62 yards on 17 carries, and things are starting to get just a teensy bit grim for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, Charleston's starting to show the control that they have in this game. Pressure's on Carolina defense to stop them in their tracks.
First down and goal at the 8. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. 8 in the box. They're going to hand it off to Swearingen. Wide open. A huge hole as Carolina stacked the box, but it did nothing to stop Swearingen, and Charleston has taken a 10-point lead.
Great blocking up front. I don't believe the Carolina defense was expecting a run in the middle. Look at that hole. Unbelievable. And that, my friend, is a rushing touchdown. Thank you.
Wow. Yes. And,
love it.
And you know what? My prediction for Swearingen, it was about a quarter late.
But you got it.
It ended up, I got lucky.
Golly. I'm starting, my hair's like standing up.
10:31 left in the fourth, and your hair is not standing up.
It's tingling. It's eerie.
Great stat here from Andy Hamilton in the truck. Despite being out for most of this game now, Harish Prasad is still the leading receiver in this game, but it's close. Listen to these numbers. Prasad has 75 yards on 4 grabs rather. Carroll has 75 yards on 5 receptions. Buchanan Simons has 74 yards on 6 receptions, and Ken Maccaro has 73 yards on 4 receptions. Doesn't get more balanced than that, as Joseph will return this kickoff from the 5. Davis and Joseph smacked at the 27-yard line, and now, you know, no excuses, right? Sully Richardson, you got to put this game in his hands. You got Flash Furman, who's only been targeted 1 time. You got Shea Carroll. You've got your tight end, Jack Flash, who has done nothing. He's received 1 target so far. I mean, you got to get guys more involved.
And you got Jack, too. You can't forget Logan Jack.
And he's been great in the passing game. Jack, 46 yards on 4 catches today. Just as productive as Carroll and Prasad. Richardson changing the play here. Carolina works from left to right. 10:27 to go in the fourth quarter, down 11. Here in their home opener, Richardson fires. Slant caught. Carroll. First down, pick up a 15 yards. Hoffman and Holly on the tackle. Carroll up to 92, and now he is the game's leading receiver.
Yeah, that was a smart change at the line, whatever he went from to. I mean, he clearly saw something and capitalized on it. The wide receiver was wide open on that slant route.
And regarding Phil Hall, people asking about Phil Hall's status, and you know, we did get a status report, but it was blocked by a lower third, and so did not get the report on Hall, but we have not seen him re-enter, so I can only assume that he's out for the rest of the game, but we'll keep an eye on it. Richardson again, pass caught by Carroll on a slant, first down to the 44-yard line, a 13-yard gain for Shea Carroll. He's up over 100.
The Charleston defense has given them that 5 to 10-yard cushion, and Sully Richardson's taken advantage of it.
That last drive, by the way, for Charleston, 76 yards on 9 plays. That is the longest drive of the day for Charleston that resulted in points. They had a couple of 9-play drives ended punts earlier in the game as Logan Jack up the middle picks up 7, one of his best runs.
Do you want to try it for a 4th time to see what your next prediction is going to be?
Oh,
Nostradamus?
No, I probably should quit while I'm ahead. That's what they, that's what they tell predictors to do. Just, you want to keep your record. 2nd and 3 at the 37. However, I like that Carolina's not going totally away from Logan Jack. Plenty of time in this game. Under 9 to play, 2nd and 3. Richardson going to throw. Again, delayed slant. Oh, he tried to sidearm it to Carroll, and the pass was swatted away at the line by Jack Brown. And I got to give full compliments to Richardson trying to make a play, but Brown just made a better one.
Did Brown actually swat that down, or did it hit him?
Well, it might have hit him. No, that's a good point. I thought it
hit him in the helmet, but I don't want to take anything away from Jack Brown.
Man, what a great play. Either way, incidental or not, Brown knocks it down. 3rd and 3 at the 37. Still outside of field goal range for Herman. One-on-one coverage. Deep ball is dropped. Dropped down the field, and that was Carroll. who was open. It was somewhat tight coverage, but he had it in his hands with no contact. He's got to make the play, and now it's 4th down.
That would have been a big spark for this offense. That was needed. That catch was needed.
And you got to punt. You just got to rely on your defense here. I hate to see it for Carolina's offense, but it's the right call to try to pin him deep.
Yep. Definitely got to pin him deep, maybe get a turnover.
Still plenty of time left in a 2-score game. 8:45 to go. This punt from Matt Johnson will bounce inside the 5. That's never good, and that's going in the end zone. So Carolina pinned at Charleston at the 4 before the end of the first half. Now, T.D. Drew and company will take back over on the 20. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252 New Bern Greenville. We'll be back in a moment. The Carolina Skyhawks' backs are against the wall here as Charleston's trying to improve to 2-1. This is the Simulation Football League. And that tackle made by Stark gets Swearingen rather, down for just a yard. And Stark, who we featured earlier in the first half, continues to be a force.
And Swearingen's creeping up to that 100 mark. 2nd
down and 9 at the 21. He really has picked things up today. Nearly 4 yards a carry despite only having a long run of 12. 8 minutes to go. Drew going to throw. Drew fires it short, caught by Simons, and Simons doing a nice job finding some soft pockets in the zone. Gets a couple more. 3rd down.
It almost looks like it's like not a bubble screen, but the quick out to the tight end. Excuse me, to the wide receiver.
It's like he's running like a stop and in.
Yeah, it looks like it takes forever though to develop.
Yeah, really shallow route there, but it's worked twice for Simons. Now 3rd and 7. Charleston 4 for 12 on 3rd down. Drew off his back foot, nearly intercepted, and Carolina gets a 3 and out. That ball swatted away by Tristan Hatley, who had an interception in the first half. And Charleston quickly will have to punt. No harm, no foul for Carolina. That's why you punted on the last possession.
Yeah, good series for Carolina on defense. Now they're handing the ball off to Sully and his offense. He's got to put some points on the board at this point in the game.
So no Prasad back to return it. Otherwise, he might be able to light a fire under this Carolina team. But the Skyhawks still without a touchdown here at home. Charleston's defense, the real deal here, from the 40-yard line up to the 45. And look at, look at the, and we got another injured player. Hector Maris, the tight end, is hurt. And we'll get another look at that on replay.
That makes it 3 all day?
That's the 3rd injury.
What's the most injuries in a game that you've done?
Golly. Maybe 4. I think two either side.
Care to make a prediction here?
No. No, I don't want to. I definitely don't want to predict the ill will
you can say no more.
Of players. Yeah, no more would be my prediction.
Where your mind
goes.
goes.
The pass is caught for a 4-yard gain. Look at this Carolina offense. I mean, coming in, the last time they made the playoffs, they had the 7th-ranked scoring offense at 26.8. They have really struggled the last couple of seasons on offense, and that's resulted in some missed playoffs. But through 2 weeks of the season, this offense was on fire. 36.5 points a game, but only 6 here today with 7 minutes to go. Richardson to throw on 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain.
Ooh, what a hit.
Incomplete. He was trying to find number 86. That was Jack Flash down the field on his 2nd target. Let's see who made that hit.
I think it was Hoffman, number 45.
Yep. Oh, man, laid him out.
Yeah, I mean, that's like your dentures are flying out when you get like that. Oh, my Lord.
And those are the type of hits that, I mean, those can be career ending if you go the wrong way on it. 3rd and 6 at the 48 for the Skyhawks. Another third down. 1 for 11 on the day. 62nd play of the day for the Skyhawk offense. Richardson fires far side. It's knocked away. Another tremendous play, this time by Josh Reese. The receiver was open, but getting right into the passing lane, Charles. Yeah. This team is just unbelievable.
Yeah, the defense is just playing out of their minds, and that, held onto that ball. That could have been a game ender.
And how do you know, Charles, your defensive coordinator, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast with Vancouver.
Put me on the spot.
It's all about guys being in the right spot.
Definitely.
Is it not, to have a great defense?
Well, and moreover, it's what they do if they're not in the right spot, how they recover quickly. I mean, that's like today. There's been some instances where the defenders weren't necessarily in the right position, but they recovered quickly. Quick closing speed, brought it down, gang tackling.
6:42 left. Carolina still down 11, but you feel like I can't say that Charleston's offense has been anemic. They only have about 242 yards of total offense, which isn't great, but considering that
doesn't matter, it's the points, baby.
Yeah, it's the points, but Carolina makes another mistake. Oh, that's going to be wiped away. Lyric Da Vinci finally with a grab, and he's going to get about 17 on that reception to move the chains for Charleston. The point I was making is that even though the Predators are up 11, you feel like this game is still within reach, because Charleston has not put together any sort of long double-digit play drive all day.
Definitely.
That penalty declined. Lyric Da Vinci with the catch. Here's another look at it. Finally on the board.
Wide open. Haven't seen a challenge yet today. This may be the first game where we've gone through without it.
It's really nice when R62 just kind of goes over there. Just goes in the corner.
Okay, now we'll have a challenge on the next play.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Don't forget tomorrow night on the as part of the Simulation Football League's broadcasts on For the Fans and 11 Sports, Denver and Baltimore, along with Queen City and Tulsa. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern. Here's another injury that we're not going to be able to get a look at, and the updated quarterback numbers: Drew up to 196. Richardson up to 229. It's a 2nd and 5 off a 5-yard completion to Maccaro, 6 minutes and counting. Carolina, just one deep safety back there around the 44-yard line. Handoff to Swearingen. And Swearingen nearly got the first down. 3-yard gain, but really good play design.
Definitely good play design. He doesn't have a ton of speed to bounce out to the outside, like maybe like a BDG Hollywood, but he's definitely a very disciplined runner.
It hasn't been the best day for Swearingen, but he's been serviceable. Very rarely has he been dropped for losses. He's kept the offense able to move the football. 3rd and 2. 5:25 to go. Carolina needs a stop. Handoff Swearingen. Got it. First down to the Carolina 48. Looks like they brought pressure from the outside, and Charleston ran it right up the gut.
Yeah, decent hole up the middle, but again, a ton of effort there by Swearingen to go through the right hole and just power through. Just see his legs just keep on churning until he gets that first down.
Hatley on the tackle. And if you're Charleston, you got the win at home against London. You looked very good. You've gone on the road twice. Vancouver didn't go your way, although that's a very long road trip all the way to Canada. But here on the road, coming back home next week, you have to feel pretty good about where you're at if you can close this game out and get to 2-1 through 3 weeks.
Yes, a really very, very sound defensive plan Charleston put together so far. Again, holding Carolina to 6 points and deep into the fourth quarter is amazing.
In week 4, the Predators will host the St. Louis Gladiators, who play on Tuesday night this week. And Carolina will be back here at home against the Vancouver Legion. 2nd down and 7. Legion still undefeated, but that'll be a long road trip going east for Vancouver. Swearingen another carry. 3rd and 6. 4:43 and counting. Stark another stop.
Yep, and the clock right now is not Carolina's friend. Charleston's doing exactly what they need to do and doing those runs and passes inbounds and keeping the clock ticking.
3rd and 6. Another critical third down. Time ticking away. Carolina showing more outside pressure. Let's see what they do. Now, Drew's taking this all the way down here early. Not fooling around. Handoff. Swearingen made a man miss, but it is going to be short of the first down. So Carolina is going to get it back. Zane Doty with the tackle at the Carolina 40. And with about 3.5 to go in the fourth is when the Skyhawks can begin their attempted comeback.
A good stop by Carolina. Got to get that ball back and put points up quick.
Also in week 4, some more highlighted games. Vice Wars is back between Denver and Vegas. That's going to be fun with Stephen Mullinex involved now. The defending champs could be 0-3 heading into that game. That would not be what the position that Denver would want to be in. And we'll break down a couple more games on the schedule, but a nice punt down to the 7. We'll do that and more when we come back. Great punt. Carolina desperate, down 11, but it's still a ball game. We're back to Raleigh in a moment. Don't go anywhere. .327 left. Charleston leads Carolina 17-6, season 14, week 3 of the Simulation Football League with Andy Hamilton on stats. Charles Doherty, my analyst. I'm Cameron Irvine from Raleigh. Pass for Carolina to start the drive, caught for an 8-yard pickup over the middle. That's Flash Furman out of the slot to the 16-yard line. This is going to be fast and feverish, so buckle up. Richardson smacked as he threw, and Zoma dropped it, and he got whacked by Brandon Haight. No gain, third down.
That's an all-pro play there by Brandon Haight. Again, the closing speed on the Predators is phenomenal. He was up there and just knocked the ball out at the last second.
I have seen a lot of defenses so far this season, Charles. This has been the most impressive individual game performance I think I've seen this year. It's been tremendous. 3rd and 2. At the 16, Charleston flying all over the place. Richardson, deep ball is knocked away again. What a play made by Josh Reese, coming over to swat it away at the last second, 4th down.
Reese is becoming a household name at the way he's playing.
Look at where he is on the field. He turns all the way around, has to contort his back to make the play, Furman the intended target, and Reese still got the swat. And what do you do here? 4th and 2? You got to go, right?
Definitely got to go.
Even though you're on your own 16.
Doesn't look like it, though. Well, yeah,
they are going for it. The only saving grace is if they hold Charleston to a field goal, it's still a 2-score game. But Carolina does not want to be in that situation. 4th and 2. 4 wide with Jack to the left of Richardson. Richardson, a pass, is going to throw it. It's caught. Is it short of the first down? No. They give him the first down to the 18-yard line. That was very close where the ball ended up on the ground. No challenge from Charleston. Drive will continue. Richardson down the field, caught. Sideline play, out route 9 yards. Furman has back-to-back grabs. And Carolina's on their own 27 with 2:52, coincidentally, to go in the ball game.
Each catch of Furman's were two of the most important of the game, I think.
Wow, going back to that 4th down play, that was so close, Charles.
And they got the ball off quickly, so they didn't have time to stop the clock.
Did you think he got it?
Nope.
It looked like when he caught it, the ball was behind the line. He was in front of the line.
Right.
But it looked like the ball was behind. Carolina catches a rare break today. 2nd and 1 at the 27. One receiver is Carroll there at the bottom of the screen. Richardson going to throw, flips it outside. One-handed catch, and what a hit. No gain in the flat. That's Brandon Haight again. He is quickly becoming one of the best linebackers in the SFL. 3rd down and 1. Richardson over the middle, caught. 1st down. That's Flash to the 35, pickup of 8 yards. Tackle made by Bravo. 2.5 to go. Carolina going to need to get it up the field faster than this. Out to Zoma, and Zoma lost a yard, and this is not the formation the Skyhawks want to be in.
And they kept them in bounds, so the clock's still ticking.
Zoma quickly back to the line. Jack in the backfield. They might try to get it out to him. They go back to Zoma, and he only got a yard. This is a mess. Let the 2-minute warning come. Don't snap it again if you're Carolina. 3rd and 10, and they do one more time. They snap it. Richardson is sacked. A loss of 4, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. One last chance on another 4th down for Carolina when we come back at 17-6. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and listening on ESPN 252 Greenville, New Bern. It's 4th down and 14 for Carolina. They converted the last 4th down. Their 74th offensive play of the game. This is a 5-wide empty look. They need the 45 to keep the game alive, and Richardson's in trouble, throws off his back foot. The pass is incomplete. The ref fell over, and it looked like the ref got... I don't know if the ref got in the way, but he got knocked down. Furman was the intended receiver. Let's get another look.
Yeah, they went to Furman a lot on this series.
Oh, Furman ran into the official. Look at the official on this play. Ran a double move and ran right into him. That is unbelievable. Have you ever seen
I've
that
never seen that
on a 4th and 14?
Unbelievable.
And if Carolina feels like luck isn't on their side, they sure are going to feel like it's on their side after that play. That was horrendous. Get out of the way.
He just needed to wrap his arms around him and bring him down. I mean,
oh, my goodness. Where's the flag for pass interference on the official?
Wow.
And Carolina now, they do have all 3 timeouts. They'll take the first one there. The Predators have the ball on the Carolina 33 after the 2-yard loss. So it is not technically over until Charleston gets a first down. Yep. But that... I feel terrible for Flash Furman. I mean, he's running that double move that Prasad has been running, and it looked like Furman could have had a shot at making the catch.
Well, you could say he needs to be aware of what's going on in the field.
Swearingen up the middle got 8, and that gets him squarely into field goal range. And the Skyhawks, they cannot give up a first down. The game's over.
Definitely, yeah, game over.
Wow, 5 passes went to Furman and 4 went to Zoma on 10 plays. And that's Carolina, one of the things that the Skyhawks are going to have to look at is just how to get Tony Zoma more involved. They just have not been able to use the fullback successfully here, at least in this ballgame. 3rd and 4. Swearingen not going to get away. So look at the defense. They do it again. Make the stop. Christopher Colon on the play, and that burns the timeouts. Charleston will kick a field goal. Still a 2-score game, and it's the SFL, man. You just never know.
You never know. You never know. I'm waiting for a prediction here. Block kick. Come on, Cam.
Moyer from 42 yards away. I tell you what, a block kick would certainly help Carolina's chances here. Without Prasad returning kicks here today. High snap, 42-yarder. And Moyer very calmly knocks that one through. And Charleston, remember, they were down, if you go back to it, Charles, they were down 6-3 with 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Carolina had a 3-play drive that took 10 seconds off the clock. They kicked it back to the Predators, and on the next play, they threw a 37-yard touchdown to Simons. And the game really hasn't been the same since.
No, definitely. And, and then the injuries, too. I mean, I hate to bring that up.
And the penalties.
And the penalties. So.
And the lack of penalties on the officials.
Right.
For getting in the way. Oh, boy. Next week, Charles will be in London. I have a terrible UK accent.
That was good. Keep going.
No, don't
That was
do that.
really good.
No, it wasn't. Don't
Wow,
do that to me.
man.
Joseph on the return of the 26th. Anyway, we will be in London, United Kingdom. The Knights taking on the New Orleans Pharaohs. It's Reggie Streeter's return to the UK.
Give me a Creole accent.
No.
Come on.
I tell you what, anybody listening at home, Charles is an instigator. And if you haven't figured that out already by this broadcast today, you definitely know it by the end of today. He keeps trying to bait me. 1:35 to go in the fourth. 14-point game for Richardson. Got to go. And overthrew the intended receiver. Getting down the field, that was Zoma again. He was open, but Richardson had more pressure in his face.
He had to adjust. Yeah, definitely had to adjust and threw it on the run. Wasn't able to put it where he needed to.
Nick Castle says, that accent, my word. Yes, it's not good. But I am willing to admit my flaws, and I am willing to be myself.
But you only
no
get better
what.
Through repetition. So this is a
that
perfect
what it is?
opportunity.
I need to talk to Liam Crowder more to get a better handle on things. 2nd and 10 at the 26. Blitz, middle, caught. First down to the 40. The aggressive defense for Charleston.
A dice roll right there.
It was, and it didn't pay off. Shea Carroll with the catch. Now quickly, Predators, 3-step drop. Richardson dumps it off. Zoma kick it out of bounds. Only got 3, but that was a check down. Nobody was open. 2nd and 7, 1:08 to play. Carolina has no timeouts. They're down by 14. Richardson's got to sling it down the field. Sack. Jack Brown, the linebacker, gets
Big
there.
sack by Jack.
3rd and 13. You rhymed there,
Yep,
Charlie.
I did it on purpose.
Deep blitz again. Richardson, pass caught. 1 yard short of the first down. They're 2 for 2 on
don't
4th
spike
down.
it.
2 for 2 for
Here we
1
go.
for 2 actually. 4 for 1. 4th and 1. 36 seconds to go. Carolina down 20-6. They're on their own 49-yard line. Richardson takes forever to snap the ball. Throws it
Here we
behind
go.
the back.
Here we
And
go.
he did not get the first. Did Logan Jack hit at the line of scrimmage? Ball game over. And the Predators put Carolina out of their misery, and they're going to go to 2-1. Johnny Bravo with another game-breaking play.
That was huge. That's a big hit to put on a fullback. You normally don't see cornerbacks light up a fullback.
And that is how the game finishes up. The Skyhawks, they're not the first team to lose a home opener. This has becoming a trend this season in the league. Denver lost their home opener. New Orleans, St. Louis, Jacksonville, Queen City all lost their home openers. And then last week, Florida lost their home opener. And now this week, the Carolina Skyhawks have lost their home opener. That's an unusual,
Very unusual
amount of home opening losses. The victory formation is taken by the Predators, and that is how the game will finish, with Charleston 20 and Carolina 6. And we head to the post game, and just first and foremost, a tip of the cap to the Charleston Predators defense. That was an exceptional game plan and a well-coached football team. Charleston's going to be a problem.
They are. I mean, on defense. I mean, we played against them. We were worried about their defense. They've got a quality defense that can go up against anyone in this league. And they shut down a team that was averaging 30-plus points a game to no touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Now, Charleston, or Carolina rather, they were without Harish Prasad. He, as we highlighted earlier in the broadcast, he's what makes that offense go. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns, a kick return touchdown this season, the only player to do that. And they missed him dearly in this game, and Carroll tried to step up, but the Skyhawks just could not string enough great plays together.
Yeah, near flawless defensive execution by Charleston. If I have a game ball to hand out, it's the entire defense.
Johnny Bravo, unofficially, although this is probably pretty accurate, but Johnny Bravo, 6 passes defended, along with 6 tackles, a TFL, and an interception, and won the game, or put the game out of reach with that play on 4th down. He might not get player of the game, but he's my player of the game.
Yeah, close second I think might be Brandon Haight.
Yep. He was tremendous too. Josh Reese
Yep.
had a couple of incredible.
Yeah, so who do you give it to on defense?
I don't know. Richardson, 26 of 46. The pass deflections tally 14 for Charleston on the day. The player of the game
Thinking about it.
goes
Here we
to
go.
Buchanan Simons. That big touchdown in the first half totally flipped the script. 77 yards, 7 receptions, 1 touchdown. And the rest of the defense gets the honorary game ball. 20-6. Charleston beats Carolina. For Andy Hamilton, Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. I am SFL Commissioner and your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Good night.